I did. I believed that there was a God, and I always thought there was a God. As far as our family practicing and going to church, we only did that when there was a wedding and a quinceañera or some celebration like that. But as far as and then to going to catechism, but that was something that we were just sent to. But to me, I wanted more. It just didn't seem like it was enough. It was just a ritual, but I really didn't get the feeling that they were explaining to me why we did the things we did, or why my family believed the things they believed. I met the father of my unborn child when I was going to college in the 70s. We met in class, and then later on we started dating, and then we ended up living with each other. And then after being with him for a while, things started to get, as far as our relationship, a little rough, because as far as the way that he treated me when we didn't agree with things. My family didn't. Yes, I saw my parents argue and stuff like that, but they were never physical. I'd been living with each other for a while, and I found out that I was pregnant, but things were not going very well. And actually, before that, I had another relationship that I had a daughter, and I thought to myself that I didn't want to bring her up in an abusive relationship like that. So I thought, that I definitely needed to leave. But finding out that I was pregnant and having a daughter already, I was hesitant, because I was thinking, well, how am I going to go back to my house, to my parents' house, when I have a daughter, and I'm going to bring another mouth to feed, and how is that going to, were they going to take me back? So that's kind of where I was, contemplating having an abortion. I did end up coming back home. My mom, and parents, my dad and mom, they, allowed me to come back home. When I was up in my room at that time, my mom had come to me and said, asked me if I was pregnant. And I said yes. And then she kind of said, well, if you want an abortion, I'll go ahead and take it and I'll pay for it. I guess because she opened those doors and kind of reassured me that that's probably the route that I needed to take, I assumed that that was kind of what she wanted me to do too. So I did. She dropped me off at the clinic, and she, she had my oldest daughter now, and with her, and she basically let me go in by myself. So when I was there, I felt like I was all alone. It was like it was nothing big, like we'll take care of this problem and then you're going to be on your way and that's it. And then before I knew it, the doctor was in there and he had that machine, and I think a lot of it I kind of tried to, I shoved it so far back in my mind that I didn't really want to deal with it. That was the way that I dealt with it, by not dealing with it, just hiding it. In fact, I didn't deal with it until like 33 years later, when I went to a class that was at my church that was called Surrender the Secret. And to find out that all these years I thought that it was me, only my fault that I did, but in reality I learned that anybody that has been a part of that, of the cause, and everybody, my mother, the facility, he soon became, we did get back together, my ex-husband, all the people that were involved with it are a part of it. And I didn't realize that I had been forgiven. It just so happened that when I was going to this class of the Surrender the Secret, I went to the grotto and I saw this brass statue, that was of Jesus with a mom, and they were holding the baby in their laps. And it said on there, what it had said was that, this was for all moms that had lost their child, not to worry about the baby that you no longer had, because he was in God's hands. Christ was watching over him, that you still have work to do here. I finally let my secret out, because I know that was the thing that was holding me back from growing the secret, because the Bible says that whatever you hold in, whatever secrets you have and you don't, that's what holds you hostage and keeps you bondage. And with the other women, the other sisters that I had in my class, we bonded together, and we were there to support each other and help each other through this. And that was the only way that I was able to break loose and let that bitterness and that anger and that hurt, and finally, also acknowledge that I did have a child, that child, but that child is in God's hands now. And one day I'll see him.